Good morning, Red Hawks. Let's go on a trip to the Grand Canyon together today. Let me share my screen with you and we can start with some word warm-ups. Word warm-ups that we do at the beginning of a story that we read together are words that you're going to see throughout the story today. So we're going to practice some of the sounds that they make so that you guys are able to start reading those words on your own. Our words that we're going to see today have the ending shun, T-I-O-N, shun. Okay, here are some example words. Action, addition, caution, celebration, definition. Okay, our mystery word here is animation. Okay, Pixar Studios makes these kinds of movies, so I'm sure that's a word that you guys have heard before. So that shun ending are the words that we're going to see throughout our story today. Let's look at the title of our book. Our title is called The Grand Canyon. Looking at the photograph and thinking about the words you see and hear in the title, what do you think the Grand Canyon is? Have you heard that word before or that name before? What do you think the Grand Canyon is? Let's talk about it. I know that a canyon is a deep valley with tall sides that usually has a river flowing through it. I also know that the author bolded grand in the title, so it must be a very big and amazing canyon. I see that the photograph supports both of those ideas. So where is the Grand Canyon? When you start to read longer nonfiction books, you're going to see in a lot of them, if it's about a place, you're going to see images of a map. So it's really important you don't just skip over that information. Looking at the maps is going to help you understand the subject of the story more. So this map is called the location of the Grand Canyon. And I see here at the corner, I have a little map of the United States, and I put a blue star where we are in California. And this green state is Arizona, where the Grand Canyon is located. Okay, and here I see that the Grand Canyon is this green part and it touches the Colorado River. The Grand Canyon is 10 hours and 15 minutes away from Fresno if you are traveling in a car. It's only about 3 hours away from Las Vegas. The Grand Canyon is very close to the Sonoran Desert. That means the Grand Canyon can get very hot. Okay, if I look below the image of my map, I see the table of contents. What does the table of contents tell me? What kind of information can you gain from looking at a table of contents? What do you think? The table of contents tells the reader what kind of information they can find on certain pages. I know that if I want to look for what adventures I can have at the Grand Canyon, I would turn to page 11 because the section is titled Make Your Own Adventure. Let's start our story. Remember, I have my reading strategies and my comprehension strategies on the side. And as I'm reading, if I ask you to use your voice, I know it's going to seem a little bit silly, but I want you to answer even though you're at home. Okay, so I have a really important blue arrow here pointing to the header of my page. Good readers never skip the headers because the header is going to tell you what the whole section is about. So if my heading or the header is called A Canyon So Grand, then I know this whole section is going to be about how grand the Grand Canyon is. Okay, let's get started. The Grand Canyon is so big that we can see it from SPAC. I don't know a word that's SPAC. Let's check the picture. I see that the picture is an image from space, and that makes sense with my beginning sound. The Grand Canyon is so big that we can see it from space. It became a I see that T-I-O-N that we practiced. So I know that's shun. Let's try and sound it out. National Park. It became a national park in 1919. Now, it might seem like I'm finished with this page, but I notice at the bottom of my photograph, there's a caption. Good readers always read the captions. The Grand Canyon is 277 miles long and more than a mile deep in some places. That is really grand. I see my visualization person on the side here. What does the photograph help me visualize? So what does the photograph of space help you visualize as a reader? What does it help you see? The photograph can help me visualize how grand the Grand Canyon is. I can see this from space, which is really, really far away. So I know that the Grand Canyon must be really grand. And this photograph helps me see that in my mind. What connection can I make to help me understand national park? Have you heard those words before? Make a connection to the world around you. I know that Yosemite National Park is a place where people can visit and go hiking. Yosemite is only a couple hours from Fresno. I can connect that people can do that at the Grand Canyon too. So that leads me to believe that there's lots of hiking and sights to see at the Grand Canyon, and it's a popular destination or place to go for people. Let's keep going. Actually, before we move on, I want you to read this page on your own. So start at the heading, and I want you to read through your paragraph. Remember, your strategies are on the side if you get stuck. We're starting here at A Canyon So Grand. Thanks for reading to me. I have my strategies here on the side. So I'm starting on my text over here. Good readers check the picture first. So I want you to look at these pictures and think about what they could be telling you before we start reading. Good readers always glance at them first. Well, I noticed that this photo is in black and white or sepia tones, which I know are pictures or photographs from long ago. And I know that this is a picture of a bird. So let's read our text and see if the author gives us more information. And I remember this word national from the page before. A national park is an area of, this word is one of my words where I need to check my ending. So I'm going to cover that ending with my finger, so ED, and I'm going to sound out the rest of it. Protect, protect. Let me try and flip that O sound. Protect, okay, and I'm going to put it in the past. Protected. A national park is an area of protected land. What connection can you make to that word protected? What does protected mean? When have you heard that word? I know that I can protect the oceans by recycling. Protect must mean to keep safe. So a national park like Yosemite or the Grand Canyon is an area of land that is kept safe. I wonder who keeps it safe. Let's read the captions in our pictures. Theodore Roosevelt was the first president to try and protect the Grand Canyon. This leads me to believe that maybe it's the president's job to protect the Grand Canyon. Let's read our text below next to this picture of this bird. Incredible. This word is boxed, and if I look at my strategy, it says look for a big or a little word and a big word. I see sight word or there, so I know it's going to end with the sound or. Or. Okay, now I'm going to make it plural. Condors. Incredible condors. What can you infer a condor is before we even start reading by looking at the photograph? What do you think a condor is? I can use the picture to infer that the condor is a bird, even though the author doesn't exactly say it. So the author doesn't say, hey, a condor is a bird, but I can use my photograph to lead me to believe that. Don't forget to look up. The Grand Canyon is home to giants. Giant or giant? Giant. The Grand Canyon is home to giant birds called California condors. These birds almost died out. People caught the birds and kept them safe so they could have babies. Today, there are about 400 living in the wild. I'm going to give you some time on your own to read this page. Remember, it's important to read the caption below your first picture and your paragraph about incredible condors. Make it a little bigger. Awesome. Let's keep going. Okay, I noticed that I see that T-I-O-N ending again. What was that sound that T-I-O-N makes? If you said shun, you're right. So let's figure out the first part of our word. And again, I see sight word or in the beginning. Form, formation. What's my whole word? Formation. How can our warm-up word help me solve this? Well, I use my T-I-O-N for shun, formation. The Colorado River made the Grand Canyon through, I see this S-I-O-N. I wonder if I could use shun for S-I-O-N. Let's try it. Erosion. Pretty close. Erosion. The Colorado River made the Grand Canyon through erosion. Erosion happens when bits of the ground. I'm going to use my picture clue. I know that this is dirt, and sometimes dirt is called ground. Erosion happens when bits of the ground are worn away. The river ran over the earth. Earth isn't a word that I know. Just like I know ground is another word for dirt, I know that earth can be another word for dirt. Let's see if that one makes sense. The river ran over the earth. I think it works there. And after many years, a canyon was made. Okay, so let's think about, what did I just learn from this page? Can you take 5 quiet seconds? What did you just learn about how the Grand Canyon was made? Okay, you tell me. If you're not quite sure, let me help you. So the Grand Canyon was made through erosion. So that happens when bits of the earth are taken away. So the river pushed elements of the earth away and it kept getting deeper and deeper. Let's make sure we read our caption on our photograph. The Colorado River wears away soil, rock, and other materials. So the water pushes rocks and dirt and other pieces of earth away, which makes the Grand Canyon deeper every single day. So yesterday it was getting deeper, and today it's getting deeper, and tomorrow it'll keep getting deeper. I know that because there's not a new heading here, this is still going to be about how the Grand Canyon was formed. Let's go ahead and read. The Grand Canyon is, I know I should check my ending or my picture. Let's take 5 quiet seconds of think time on our picture. What do you notice? Now that we were good readers and took time to see our pictures, let's cover our ED with our ending, or with our finger. The Grand Canyon is striped. Stripped doesn't make sense. Is stripped. What other word could make sense there? Can you tell me? If you said striped, you're right. The Grand Canyon is striped with colors. The stripes are layers of, I know this word is boxed and I see a sounded out clue. Let's try. Sediment. Sediment. Sediment is another word for pieces of earth and rock. The stripes are layers of sediment that built up on top, built up on top. The stripes are layers of sediment that built up on top of each other. They show how the earth has changed over time. Let's read our caption. People say that the rocks at the bottom of the canyon are nearly 2 billion years old. I'm going to give you some quiet think time to yourself, or some quiet reading time to yourself, starting at the top of the page. Don't forget those captions. Thanks for reading to me. Is there anything you're wondering about the Grand Canyon? Remember, good readers wonder and they ask questions with information that the author hasn't given us yet. What's a question you have about the Grand Canyon? Can you tell me your question? Let me share mine with you. I wonder if people live in the Grand Canyon. I wonder if the author will answer that question. Here, our heading for our paragraph is not at the top of the picture, but at the bottom. So let's take a little bit of time to explore that picture. What do you notice about it? I notice that I see the Colorado River here and I see holes in the wall. They kind of looked like well-formed caves. So let's see. Let's sound out our heading word here using those warm-up sounds. So I know shun is going to be at the ends, exploration, exploration. So that kind of sounds like explore. I know people explore the Grand Canyon and so do animals. I remember this word from social studies this year, native. Native Americans went to the Grand Canyon first. People can still see some of their homes there. So these formations in the cave, these are where they used to live. Says old Native American homes can be found in the cliffs of the canyon. Okay, I want you to close your eyes and we're going to visualize Native Americans living in these homes by listening to our sound. Okay, sometimes music can help good readers visualize. So I can visualize Native Americans living in these homes and making music together and gathering food. So the author did answer my wondering question. I want you to take some reading time now, starting at exploration. Let's keep going. Okay, let's start out looking at our picture first. I noticed this picture is black and white, which probably means it was taken a long time ago. Let's see if the text supports my thought. In 1869, a group of Americans took the first, I need to check my ending, so take your finger, cover your ED, and let's do the base word. Report, reports, reported. In 1869, a group of Americans took the first reported trip through the canyon. Let's read our caption at the bottom. The group took a second trip down the river and helped make maps of the area. That means that the first time anyone ever went on a trip down the Grand Canyon, there wasn't a map. Those people must have been really, really brave. Okay, what inferences can you make when looking at this picture? What's a good guess you can make about what's going on? Let me share mine with you. I can infer that this picture was taken a long time ago because I know a long time ago pictures were taken in black and white. And the text does support that because 1869 is over 100 years ago. I want you to take some quiet time and read this page to yourself, starting at sight word in. Let's keep going. I know that this is still going to be about exploring the Grand Canyon because my heading has not changed, okay? Let's take a little bit of time and look at our pictures. There's one on the top and one on the bottom there. I noticed there are lots of visitors in these pictures and that they're high above the river at the bottom. They must be doing some sightseeing. And I can see those striped layers that we were talking about when we read our formation section of this text. I see that none of my words here have rectangles, so that must mean that I am familiar with these words. More people went to the Grand Canyon when it became a national park. So that means that when it had the title of becoming a national park, more people would come and visit. I can't forget my caption. The South Rim has many viewing points. I wonder what a rim is. Let's read my other section. A tale of two rims. The south rim of the Grand Canyon is very popular. It is open every day of the year. Across the canyon is the North Rim, which is a long drive away for most people. The North Rim is much higher up, so it gets more snow. It is only open for the warmer months of the year. The author never tells me what rim is on this page. Can you make an inference about what the author means by rim using the photograph or the captions of the photographs? What do you think a rim is at the Grand Canyon? Let me share my inference with you. I can infer by the picture or the photograph that the rim is the edge that visitors can stand on to see into the Grand Canyon. So the south rim has many viewing points. That means that they're standing on the rim, the very edge of the canyon. I notice a different caption on this page, or a different heading on this page. Make your own adventure. Well, looking at the pictures, I see some people having adventures, so it must be adventures you can have at the Grand Canyon. Let's take a little bit more time to look at each of our pictures. What do you notice? Well, I noticed some animals in this picture, maybe some donkeys or mules. I noticed in this picture, people seem to be standing on a glass bridge. I see in this picture that the Grand Canyon must have waterfalls coming off of some of their ledges. Let's read the words to see if the author tells us more in the text. Many people go to the Grand Canyon every year. Some people hike to the bottom of the canyon. They can walk around the bottom of the canyon for weeks. Must be super grand if it can take weeks to walk around. I'm going to read this caption here. Some people ride mules to the bottom of the canyon. The Skywalk is a glass bridge that goes over the canyon for an amazing view. Whoa, if it's glass, that means you can see through the bottom. I bet that scares some people. People can see waterfalls and pools at the bottom of the canyon. I want you to close your eyes and we're going to visualize ourselves at the Grand Canyon. We're going to take a little field trip together. Wow, that water must be flowing really, really fast. Thanks for going on an adventure with me. As we turn this page, actually, let's go back and I want you to read the section on your own, please. Great job. Let's keep going and take some quiet time to really look at our pictures. I see that these people are rafting, the river rafting across the rapids. And I notice these people are wearing hiking shoes and clothing, so they must be hiking. Let's go ahead and read. Some people raft on the Colorado River. The river is many miles. I know sometimes that S is tricky for me. I'm going to cover it with my finger. Mile, okay, more than 1 miles. The river is many miles long. Some people walk by the canyon rim. Remember, that's the edge here that we see. The ewa. Ewa. That doesn't sound like a word I know. I notice my frog is here, which means I can skip it and come back. The v from the rim is amazing. Well, I know people say the views at the Grand Canyon are amazing. So, what you see when you're looking down. Let's read the word that way. The view from the rim is amazing. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and read our captions. The Colorado River can be rough, fast, and rocky in some places. People who want to take short hikes may walk along the easier rim trails. So that means that the Grand Canyon offers lots of different kinds of adventures to people. I want you to take some time and read this page on your own, starting here at Sightward Some. The Grand Canyon seems like a really fun place to be. All right, I see I have a new heading here, but it's also in a rectangle, which means I'm gonna have to use a strategy to help me figure it out. I see the sounded out strategy here. Well, I know this is sight word n, at, nat, natural, natural, a natural wander. Well, I know people say the Grand Canyon is a natural wonder. That means a wonder that's natural, it's not man-made. A natural wonder. The Grand Canyon will be, this blue line means we've worked on this word. What is it? If you said protected, you're right. The Grand Canyon will be protected for years to come. People who go there are in for a, what's this word we just worked on? View. People who go there are in for a view like nothing else. Let's read our captions. Bighorn sheep and other animals are protected in the Grand Canyon. The national park is a beautiful sight in winter. I'm going to give you some time to read this page on your own. Is there a wondering statement you can find about this picture? We haven't seen any pictures of the Grand Canyon in winter in this book so far. Can you think of something you wonder about winter in the Grand Canyon? I wonder how cold it gets in the winter in the Grand Canyon because the summer is really, really hot. Comprehension focus. Good readers can recall information from a nonfiction text after reading. We won't use the words beginning, middle, and end to recall because this is a nonfiction text. It's giving us real information about a place. We will use the first fact I learned about the Grand Canyon is, the second fact I learned about the Grand Canyon is, and the third fact I learned about the Grand Canyon is. So I want you to take 10 quiet seconds of think time, and I want you to think of 3 facts you've learned. Let me share my facts with you. The first fact I learned about the Grand Canyon is that Native Americans made their homes in the canyon walls. The second fact I learned about the Grand Canyon is that there are many different types of adventures for people to have when they visit the Grand Canyon. The third fact that I learned about the Grand Canyon is that the edge of the canyon is called the rim. So there's a north rim and a south rim. I want you to tell me the 3 facts you learned using the sentence frame. Thanks for sharing. Reading beyond. Why do you think people enjoy going to the Grand Canyon? The author doesn't tell us, but we can make good guesses using what we read and saw in the photographs. So why do you think people would enjoy going to the Grand Canyon? Let's go back and look at some of those pictures. Why do you think people like to come here? I think people enjoy going to the Grand Canyon because there's something to do for everyone. If you're not feeling very adventurous, you can go on short hikes. If you're feeling really adventurous, you can go on river rafting rides. So it seems like there's something for lots and lots of people to do. I have one last wondering statement. I wonder what kids do at the Grand Canyon, what kind of adventures they like to do. That might be a good piece of information to look up on your own. That might be a good piece of information to look up on your own. Thank you for reading with me today. You guys did an awesome job. Keep soaring.